Welcome to commentary for Game Night, a StabMovies.com short film. I'm writer and director Joshua Patrick Dudley, is what I would normally say, but I am technically not the writer or the director of this. So, Game Night was filmed on a whim because we were supposed to be filming a scene from Stab 7, the second version of Stab 7, not Stab 7, Knife of the Hunter, and we had set up a whole night of filming, and three cast members didn't show up for filming. So that did show up, decided that it would be a waste of a night not to do anything, and since we already had lighting and other stuff ready to go, that we might as well do something. So we kind of sat down and brainstormed, and I remember this game that my mom taught me how to play when I was little. It goes by a bunch of different names. I've heard it called Wink, I've heard it called Murder, I've heard it called Detective, all kinds of stuff. It's actually a version of it is included in our downloadable Stabathon kit. But yeah, so the main idea of the game is someone's a murderer, and he or she tries to kill the rest of the group without getting caught. So we were a little shaky on the rules of the game because we kind of just, like I said, threw this together. So I went over the basics with everyone, and some of my basics were even wrong because I hadn't played the game in so long. So we actually play the game, but we don't play it right. We continually call each other out for seeing the wink, and that's something you're not supposed to do. You're supposed to wait until it's your turn to reveal who you think the killer is, not just to catch someone on the spot. Especially if you see someone winking at you, that would mean that they're murdering you, so you wouldn't be able to say, hey, you just winked at me. So I can't remember who actually got the murderer slip in that, because it was true that one of them said murderer and the rest said victim or detective or something like that. So I don't remember if we planned it out or who got what, because I'm pretty sure we just drew random things out of there. So really, though, it was a fun experience. Working with Rachel is always one of my favorite things. And Dan and Rachel actually get along really well. And Dan doesn't have a lot of acting experience, so it's always cool to use him in these short movies because we brought him on as more of a special effects makeup artist. So to give him something to do is always interesting. And I don't know, I like the way him and Rachel interact with each other, so they're just funny. And all three of us are actually gingers, so, and all four of us actually in the short film are gingers. I don't think I've ever noticed that before. All four gingers in this short film. But so the idea of this was that we were filming basically a vlog for a YouTube channel, and we were going to play live games live on our YouTube channel. And then we start to die as the game goes on. As you can see, Tara's character has now bitten the dust. Tara you'll probably recognize from the second version of Stab 7. Rachel, I'm sure you recognize from everything. And Dan, you probably recognize him from Theta if you have watched our original film Theta. But aside from that, he was behind the scenes for a couple of things like Theta and Stab 7 as well. So you don't really get to see him, so you may not recognize him besides, like I said, from Theta. And obviously I'm the one in the red sweater. So, like I said, we didn't really have anywhere to go with this. We just kind of went out on a whim and said, all right, we're going to set it up as this game. And I think Rachel came up with the idea that when the lights went out, that the notes would appear, signifying that the killer was in the room. And we did toy with the idea of being an actual killer, too. And we thought about dressing up the mannequin as a killer and just using it for, like, a jump scare shot. And that's all you see at the end, is this killer just standing there. It could have been Ghostface if we wanted to make another Scream or Stab reference, so this was fun to film. The cutouts where the lights go out every time was also an excuse for us to be able to reset. Because, like I said, we didn't really know where we were going as everything went along. So we kind of came up with the first scene first and worked it through once and then filmed it. And then we knew we were filming up until the point of the light going off. So we would film until the lights go off. And then we would talk about what we were going to film next and how the scene was going to progress. So it was kind of neat because it was kind of like doing a 24-hour film challenge. So, which for us was like a new experience. Like I said, we normally plan everything out. So this would have been the part where the cast back up and we're like, hey, everyone that we were live video vlogging floor. Wow, I can't talk anymore. You know, this was just a prank. But then we hear the doorbell. And it's not just a prank. There's actually somebody there. And we're all gonna die.